police gunfire meant to stop a synagogue attacker may have killed a worshipper instead. On Yom Kippur in Manchester, Britain's deadliest anti-Semitic assault in years now carries a shattering question. Did the rescuers become the reason for more bloodshed? Armed police officers responding to the Manchester synagogue attack may have inadvertently killed one worshipper and wounded another while attempting to stop the attacker. Authorities revealed on October 3rd a devastating admission that has raised urgent questions about the split-second decisions made during the deadliest anti-Semitic attack on British soil in recent years. The police said they believed the two victims were huddled behind a door in the synagogue in the northern English city, trying to prevent the attacker from entering when they were shot. The admission came a day after the attack outside the Heaton Hebrew Congregation Synagogue in the Manchester suburb of Crumpsall on Yom Kippur, the holiest day in Judaism. 2 Jewish worshippers were killed and 3 others seriously injured. The suspected attacker was also killed by police. A government pathologist advised the police that he has provisionally determined that
one of the deceased victims would appear to have suffered a wound consistent with a gunshot injury.
Manchester Police Chief Constable Stephen Watson said that since the police believed that the suspect, Jihad al-Shami, did not have a gun, it must have been the police gunfire that hit the victims.
The only shots fired were from GMP's authorized firearms officers as they worked to prevent the offender from entering the synagogue and causing further harm to our Jewish community. It follows, therefore, that subject to further forensic examination, this injury may sadly have been sustained as a tragic and unforeseen consequence of the urgently required action taken by my officers to bring this vicious attack to an end.
The police said 3 people were receiving treatment in a hospital for injuries sustained during the attack. 1 suffered a gunshot wound, 1 had been stabbed, and 1 was struck by the car involved in the attack. The attack and the security reaction to it unfolded in a very short span of time on the morning of October 2nd. The police said that armed officers were deployed to the scene within 3 minutes of receiving a call at 9:31 a.m. from a member of the public that a car drove into people outside the synagogue. According to the police, shots were fired by the officers at 9:38 a.m. The police said shots were fired by the officers at the scene, confirming later that the assailant had been killed by the police. A video from the scene showed armed police officers shouting instructions at bystanders and worshippers inside the synagogue while pointing their weapons at a person lying on the ground. Following the attack at the Heaton Hebrew Congregation in Manchester, UK, the World Jewish Congress condemned the attack on October 2nd and called for unity amongst the international community.
UJC has been made aware of the horrific attack at the Heaton Park Synagogue in Manchester. This act of terror, carried out on the holiest day of the Jewish year, is an assault not only on the Jewish community, but on the basic values of freedom of religion and human dignity. We are in close contact with our UK affiliate, the Board of Deputies, and extend our solidarity to the British Jewish community at this painful time. Hate and terror must never be allowed to triumph. The international community must stand united in protecting Jewish life wherever it is threatened.
Meanwhile, Cardinal Vincent Nichols, President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of England and Wales, reassured the Jewish community of his prayers after the terror attack, saying such tragedies cannot be tolerated. In a statement released on October 2nd, he said,
"The killing of 2 Jewish worshippers, the injuries inflicted on others, and the attempt to drive a car into a crowd in Manchester today are expressions of utter hatred that must not be tolerated in this land. Jewish and Christian people are closely bound together in our common faith in God. Indeed, in the Catholic tradition, Jewish people are held to be the elder brothers in faith of our Christian family.
The United Kingdom's Metropolitan Police has said a pro-Palestine protest planned in central London this weekend following an attack on a synagogue in Manchester should not go ahead, raising concerns over the allocation of police resources at a volatile time for the British capital's communities. Protest group Defend Our Jury's plans to hold a demonstration on October 4th in Trafalgar Square. The call from police, seemingly connecting the attack and peaceful protests to stop Israel's genocidal war, is raising questions and concerns. In a statement published on X on October 3rd, the Met said,
"The horrific terrorist attack that took place in Manchester yesterday will have caused significant fear and concern in communities across the UK, including here in London. Yet at a time when we want to be deploying every available officer to ensure the safety of those communities, we are instead having to plan for a gathering of more than 1,000 people in Trafalgar Square on Saturday in support of a terrorist organization. By choosing to encourage mass lawbreaking on this scale, Defend Our Juries are drawing resources away from the communities of London at a time when they are needed most. We urge them to do the responsible thing and delay or cancel their plans."
The Metropolitan Police also wrote to the group overnight, raising concerns about the amount of police resources the protest would divert at a time when visible reassurance and protective security is needed in communities across London. But Defend Our Juries, which has led demonstrations in support of prescribed group Palestine Action, said it planned to go ahead with the march. The group also responded to the Met's post on X. "Don't arrest us then. We are peacefully protesting against UK complicity in genocide. Deal with actual terrorism." The planned protest is due to take place 2 days after police shot dead a man they said was responsible for deadly car ramming and stabbing attacks in which 2 victims from the Jewish community were killed close to a synagogue in Manchester, in northwest England.